At 4ZZZ, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we broadcast. We pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging of the Turrbal and Jagera people. We acknowledge that their sovereignty over this land was never ceded.
And we stand in solidarity with them.
You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ, amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Brisbane and beyond.
Good morning, Meanjin. You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns. Oh, kisses from Anne from, oh my goodness, the accounts department of 4ZZZ. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely day today. At Transmission, all about amplifying the voices of the trans community here in Meanjin, around the country and beyond. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which 4ZZZ broadcast every single week, 24 hours, 7 days, the Turrbal and Yuggera people. This land was stolen and is not ours, and we acknowledge that with everything that we do. I'd like to extend and acknowledge in particular the any elders that might be present and listening, our brother boy and sister girl communities as well. You are all part of our story. Trans stories, it's all the same story, and the intersectional lens in which that we look through land back movement and everything that we can do to support our First Nations communities. I'd like to acknowledge that. This week, we'll be chatting about some news. So I've got lots of news, actually. I'm trying to catch up on a whole heap of stuff that's going on. Some of it a little grim. So content warning for some themes with the show today. Ultimately, I have been quite cherry picky. I tried to look for stories that were relevant and important, but also heartwarming stories about some of the really good things that are actually happening around the world. I find that when I'm online or on social media, TV, newspapers, your phone, anything, it's pretty hard to just be trans and existing at the moment. So I went through and found some things that were quite nice, and some positive responses as well. Also, it was Trans History Week last week, and I totally missed that. I was too busy doing my Too Trans, Too Furious segment, which I was too excited about. So I missed out on Trans History Week, but don't worry, I'll catch you up on some cool stuff. We've got a lot to go through, and I'm all excited about it.
Peter Sterling, the only man in the world who's given birth to a child.
Someone might say, you're a bit of a queer. And they'd be right.
You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ, and we're going to be chatting some news. Week in community news, but also just generally news that's been going on the last month or so, from what's happening for trans people around the world, also locally, nationally, all that sort of stuff. Firstly, I would like to mention an event, though. There's an event at UQ at the Great Court tomorrow, Wednesday, 14th of May, from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. It's completely free and welcome to all. It's Queer Fest. There'll be local queer artists, creator stalls, drag performances, live music, food trucks, lawn games, and a chill-out zone. You should come check it out if you get a chance. Open doors, e-service will be there, and I'll be there with them. Hanging out and checking it all out, just providing information and stuff for UQ students and anyone else who happens to appear. So check that out at Queerfest tomorrow, 14th of May. Also, we'll jump straight into the news now. Some cool things happening. So, new social housing for Sydney trans women secured via government funding. In a significant development for Sydney's transgender community, 7 terrace homes previously owned by the City of Sydney Council have been sold to a community housing organisation, Common Equity New South Wales, for approximately $2.4 million, which is 70% below market value. This initiative aims to provide long-term affordable housing for trans women, a group notably vulnerable to homelessness and discrimination. The acquisition and refurbishment of these properties are being funded by both federal and state governments. Nick Sable, the CEO of Common Equity New South Wales, described the project as Australia's first housing cooperative specifically for trans women, offering them a safe and supportive living environment. New South Wales Housing Minister Rose Jackson emphasised the efficiency of renovating existing properties as a quicker solution to the housing crisis, highlighting the project's role in providing secure homes for some of the community's most vulnerable individuals. The initiative is part of a broader effort to address housing insecurity and support marginalised communities in Sydney. So that's amazing. Congratulations to those women who came together to make that co-op and successfully got their housing. That's awesome. And it will continue to provide housing for hopefully many, many years to come, which is awesome. In other news as well, so not so good news, criminals used fake profiles on gay dating apps to lure robbery victims, police allege. The ABC News article reports on a disturbing trend in Victoria where over 30 individuals, some as young as 13, have been arrested for using fake profiles on LGBTQ plus dating apps like Grindr, Scruff and Snapchat to lure victims into violent attacks. These assaults, which have occurred across Melbourne suburbs such as Manningham, Casey, Hume, Moorabbin, and Knox, include robberies, kidnappings, threats, and homophobic abuse. In some cases, attackers filmed the incidents and shared the footage on social media. Victoria Police are treating some of these incidents as prejudice-motivated crimes, which could lead to harsher penalties. The LGBTQI+ community has expressed concern over what they see as a growing trend of radicalisation, urging both state and federal governments to take action. The CEO of Thorn Harbour Health, Simon Ruth, described the situation as a serious threat of national significance. Authorities are calling on dating app users to be vigilant, verify identities before meeting in person, and report any incidents directly to the police, as reporting to these apps alone may not trigger a law enforcement response. I do hope that police generally are taking this seriously, but as we know, police are usually not very good at doing their job or showing up for queer people generally, even if they want to march and rallies and all that sort of stuff. I know that when you call them, they don't really come. So, just a hot tip from Ez, make sure that you're telling people, like housemates, friends, other people, that you're seeing someone. That's a great way to keep community safe, is check in with each other. Make sure that someone knows where you are, maybe an address, things like that. Have a safe word or a code, or maybe there's something that you've got to do where if you go meet someone, after 10 minutes of meeting, you've got to text somebody, and maybe you've got to text every so often as an update that you are continuing to be safe, as an ongoing trend. Also having someone available who can pick you up if you need, things like that. Just, hook up safely, carefully, and don't forget to wear protection and look after yourself out there as well, in terms of your sexual health. Just look out for each other in community. We've really only ever got each other. As much as police might create the illusion of safety, that's not true. We know that as queers. So we've got to look out for each other, and that's really important. Speaking of looking out for each other, it was Lesbian Visibility Day or week or something. I don't know. Lesbians have been visible lately. And I'd like to tip my hat towards you, fellow dykes. Thank you so much for using the Visibility Week to platform a lot of standing in solidarity with trans folk. It's been really lovely to see that on social media. I really appreciate that. Amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community of Meanjin, Brisbane and beyond.
Transmission on 4ZZZ brings you the latest in trans community news, music and events.
Every Tuesday from 9am till 10am.
Join our team of hosts for an hour of celebrating the unique perspectives of the trans community.
Transmission, Tuesday mornings from 9am till 10am on 4ZZZ. You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns. And thank you so much to Lachlan from Balmoral for subscribing to 4ZZZ. Woo! Yeah! Support community radio. Thank you so much. If you are not a 4ZZZ subscriber, you could be. If you head to 4ZZZ.org.au/support. There's so many different categories of subscriptions you can have. They last all year. The sub isn't, once a month. It's all year. And one subscription, one full subscription, $80. That's 1 hour of radio. Or more, actually. I don't know. I don't know how far money gets you these days, but you should subscribe to 4ZZZ and support us. We are obviously not-for-profit and volunteer run. So, continue to subscribe and donate or purchase cool merch. You can also do that on the website as well. All of that supports us and keeps our equipment running so we can continue to broadcast to you the voices of your community and the culture of your town. So no one else is doing that, so you might as well support us. We're listening to trans music by trans and gender diverse artists. They nominate that themselves when they submit music to the 4ZZZ website. That's what you're hearing on this hour of trans power. And you're also going to be hearing some news, because I'm doing a bit of a recap of news over the last month or so of things that's been going on around the world. We had some local news before, or Australia-based news. Now we're going overseas. We're going to go to Poland. So Poland abolishes the last remaining LGBT-free zone in the country. Poland has officially abolished its last remaining LGBT-free zone, making a significant victory for LGBT rights. On April 24th of this year, the town council of Lankit, located in southeastern Poland, voted to repeal the regulation that had declared the area free of LGBT ideology. This move effectively ends the policy that had been introduced 6 years earlier by the former right-wing Law and Justice PIS government, which lost office in 2023. The LGBT-free zones were initially adopted by around 100 local municipalities in 2019, leading to widespread criticism from LGBTQ+ advocacy groups and the European Union. The European Commission withheld funding from these regions, arguing that the zones enforce discriminatory policies. In 2022, Poland's Supreme Administrative Court ruled that such declarations violated the dignity and private lives of LGBTQ+ individuals, reinforcing the need for state protection of all citizens, including minority groups. The repeal of the last LGBT-free zone in Lankit signifies a broader shift in Poland's approach to LGBTQ+ rights, reflecting a growing recognition of the need for inclusivity and protection against discrimination. So, congratulations, Poland. What a huge step in standing in solidarity with queer communities and proving that when things go backwards, you can always go backwards to being forwards. You can always undo things, and we can always keep moving in the direction of progress and equality and happiness and joy for all. Also, in Brazil, the Brazil Supreme Court of Justice has made a landmark decision by granting an individual the right to identify as gender neutral on official documents, marking a significant step forward for LGBTQ+ rights in Brazil. The case involved a person who initially identified as male after undergoing hormone treatment, but later realized that they did not align with their true identity. Seeking to amend their birth certificate to reflect a gender-neutral designation, the individual petitioned the court. The court's unanimous ruling acknowledged the importance of recognizing diverse gender identities even in the absence of specific legislation and emphasized the right to self-identification. Judge Nancy Adrigi, who served as the case reporter or rapporteur, highlighted the profound personal journey of the petitioner, noting the emotional and physical challenges faced in aligning one's identity with societal expectations. The case remains sealed to protect the individual's privacy. This ruling is expected to have broader implications for the legal recognition of non-binary individuals in Brazil, potentially influencing future cases and policies related to gender identity. So, congratulations, Brazil. Another awesome move in the right direction for, again, people to live as themselves authentically. How beautiful. What a wonderful time it is in so many places. And we're going to continue to look for the positive news in the thick waves of crap that can be social media sometimes.
How many genders are there?
I don't know. I just got here.
So we're going to keep going through some news. This one here, Lush, the amazing Lush. Lush loudly says trans rights in bold new campaign following Supreme Court ruling. In response to the UK's recent Supreme Court ruling that the legal definition of woman excludes transgender women under the Equality Act 2010, Lush Cosmetics has launched a bold campaign to affirm its support for trans rights. The initiative, running from April 23rd to May 11 across all 101 UK stores, features vibrant window displays, free educational booklets, and the New Liberation bath bomb in the colours of the trans pride flag. 75% of the £6 bath bomb sales will benefit trans-led organisations Transaxual and My Genderation. The campaign, designed by trans creatives Fox Fisher and Lewis Hancock, aims to provide a utopian vision and a clear path towards a more inclusive society. The accompanying booklet, titled Dream vs. Reality, Creating a World Where Trans People Are Safe, addresses issues such as diminished healthcare access and rising hate crimes faced by trans individuals. Kane Walker, strategic director at Transaxual, emphasized the importance of vocal and explicit support for trans people during this challenging time. The campaign also coincides with Lush's rollout of gender-affirming care policy for all staff in the UK and Ireland, reflecting the company's commitment to creating a diverse and inclusive working environment. This initiative marks a significant shift from Lush's previous controversy in 2020 when it faced backlash for donating to an anti-trans group. The company later issued an apology for that incident. However, I think this kind of campaign is a really great way to make an apology for making that mistake. So here we are. Congratulations, Lush UK, for helping educate the public and taking that responsibility on as an organisation. We can all do that in our own way. We are all part of the same world, and our influences matter everywhere, even if we're just one singular person or we're a large organisation, which is pretty cool. Also, in some other news, Airyn De Niro is ready to be seen on her own terms. Airyn De Niro, daughter of actor Robert De Niro and actress Tukey Smith, has publicly shared her journey as a black trans woman in an interview with Them. At 29, Airyn reflects on her experiences with body shaming, racial identity, and media invisibility, emphasizing the importance of self-expression and visibility for trans individuals. Inspired by icons like Halle Bailey, Laverne Cox, and Marsha P. Johnson, Airyn embraces her femininity through hormone therapy and beauty practices. She recently debuted Pink Locks, a significant step in her journey towards self-acceptance. Despite facing challenges, including intrusive media coverage and being labelled a Nepo baby, Airyn is determined to succeed independently in the entertainment industry, aspiring to careers in modelling, voice acting, and mental health counselling. Aaryn's father, Robert De Niro, has publicly expressed his support, stating, I love and support Airyn as my daughter, emphasizing his unconditional love for all his children. Through her story, Airyn aims to amplify black trans visibility and advocate for inclusive, affirming mental health support, highlighting the healing power of self-love and communal care. If you'd like to read the full interview with Airyn De Niro, you can check that out on Them, THEM, and they've got her full interview there about her life and some of the things that have been coming up for her through a process of transition. I'll slap that on the Transmission social media page at trans.radio. You can check that out on Instagram, Facebook, all those things. We're sharing a bunch of things up there. You can have a read and also check out all the news that I may have mentioned today if there are things there that you're like, ooh, that was cool. I want to know more. Including the fact that it was Trans History Week last week, but that's okay. That's in the past. Like history. I don't know, I was trying to go for a joke there. It's not working. Either way, something that you can check out if you would like some more positive news and history about trans people. If you go to wearequeeraf.com, this is a great page for trans history articles, podcasts, and even a workbook, which is pretty cool. This is sort of all part of like a campaign, independently led and run by a team of volunteers. It's a really cool website. It's UK based, but I wasn't able to find quite a nice so-called Australia based one. But I had no luck. So this is definitely something worth checking out. So wearequeeraf.com, and they have a page which is Trans History Week, and you can click on that and you can just check out the articles, podcast, and workbook. I've been reading some of the articles this morning, which are pretty cool, including one article that's Trans Happily Ever After, The Forgotten Folktales of Trans Joy, which is really cool, including a story, stories on different kinds of folktales, but also a transgender politician in Japan. There's also the history of trans right movement in Italy, and a variety of other really cool stories in here as well. You should check out. There's also Saint Marinos, the trans mass monk who refused to go away. That's an interesting story as well, which he's actually buried, or his tomb is in Venice, in one of the cathedrals there. I actually was in that location at one point, but I did not know he was there. I'm a little sad about it. But yeah, you can have a read of all these articles, all these different trans folk stories and our stories in the past. So yeah, there's also a really cool archive here and a link to archives on all kinds of gender diverse stories or folk tales. The first recorded example of gender diversity that we are aware of features the Mesopotamian goddess Inanna Ishtar. She was able to change people's sex and was rescued from a terrible journey to the underworld by an androgynous, genderless being called Namir, because neither man nor woman could save her. Namir and all like them were cursed to deal with mistreatment and misunderstanding, but Inanna declared her temples havens for gender-diverse people. And the tablets that tell this story are over 2,600 years old. So next time someone tells you you were a modern phenomena, that you being trans is not, it's new, just remember that there are records of us that are far older than Jesus, because we're out there. Yeah, it's about time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in to Transmission, supporting 4ZZZ, supporting trans communities, and doing your best. Just listening to 4ZZZ is a great way to keep the clutter of chaos and corporate things out of your brain. Take care of yourself, look after yourself, love each other. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Transmission. See you next Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ.